Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for another very special edition of Wowza Live with our host, Ned Dennison. Ned?
Hello, everyone. I'm the chairperson of the International Marathon Swimming Hall of Fame. We're here with our only honoree from the great country of Sweden, Anna Karin Norden. Please say hello, Anna.
Hello.
Anna, tell us about your early swimming before you took on the English Channel. Were you a champion pool swimmer? What kind of swimmer did we start with?
I haven't done any marathon swim before I did my English Channel. I have been swimming in a pool since early age of 6. And when I got 25, I started to do master swimming. And at one competition, I was talking to one of the swimmers, and he asked me when I ever gonna do the proper swims. And I asked him, what do you mean about proper swims? And he said, you should do marathon swims. And he told me about his swims in the late 50s and the beginning of 60s. And I just thought about what could be worse, to do a 200 fly in a pool or do a marathon swim. What could be worst? So I looked it up, and the only thing I knew about marathon swimming was the English Channel. So that's how it all started.
So the English Channel was your goal. You didn't start with Ocean Sevens as a goal. You probably didn't even know about it. You said English Channel first.
Yeah, that was the only thing I knew about, because we don't do marathon swims in Sweden. So the English Channel was the only thing. So that's how I started.
And from the time he said to you, you should do a proper swim, to the moment you booked the English Channel, was it an hour, a day, a week, a month? How fast did you go?
No, I started to look it up, to do some research about it. And then I found out the king of the channel. So why don't ask him about what to expect? And then I started to train and looked up where to book the swim. Sorry about that. And how to book the boat and how to do everything. And after a while, we got on the news that there was a Swedish person who had done the English Channel. And I tried to look him up, and after a while, I got in contact with him. And I had a meeting as well. And he said, you have to train for success, but expect the worst. And could it take one year after I decided, before I booked the swim? And from there on.
And for you, the English Channel, was it easy? Was it difficult? Did you get halfway across and say, what am I doing out here?
No, I had that every time when I'm going to do a swim, I prepare myself to the swim for 100%. So the only thing that you can do anything about, that's have your favorite swimsuit, your hat, your goggles, you have your food, and you know how often to eat. If you can do that, and you're sure about that, and you know that you have been training, you have to be ready when it's a go. I don't try to do a swim. I'm going there to do a swim. I'm going to finish the swim.
And after the English Channel, how did the Ocean Sevens come into your head?
After the English Channel, so I started to look up about marathon swims, and I looked up around England because it's big there. And then I saw that you can do a swim in Ireland. I thought, oh, it has to be much colder. But I got contact with Brian, and so I booked the next year that I was going to do the North Channel. And I pour up in the bath the cold water, like 13 degrees, and I thought, oh my God, this is so cold. So I decided, so when I'm going to Ireland, I'm going to stay there for 1 month ahead, just to prepare myself, because it's going to be cold. And the next coming year, I went to Ireland, and I was there for 1 month. And the day before I was going home, Brian called me and said, tomorrow it's a go. I said, no, I can't go tomorrow. And I was very unsure what to do, because I had my friend there. And then I called my other captain, my first captain, it was Eddie Spelling. So I called Eddie, what should I do? I don't feel good about it. He said, Anna, you go home, you feel safe, you go back to Ireland and train for it next coming year or so. So, and that's where it all started. Brian told us about the Seven Oceans, this Irishman who was swimming the seven, and they told me about the swims, and that's where it all started.
And which of the Ocean Sevens for you was the most difficult? Which did you enjoy the most? Which surprised you? Talk to us about the highs and lows of the journey.
You know, English Channel is always special because that was my first one. And the most special one is the Irish because that was my final swim. And I just love Ireland. I've been there a few times, you know. And in Ireland it's cold and there's a lot of lion manes. My swim was a perfect day. Brian couldn't choose another better day because it was flat calm like a mirror, and it was just a seal male out in the sea, no manes, no jellyfish whatsoever. The sun was up, was just perfect. And sorry.
Go ahead.
And the low ones is the difficulties of Tsugaru Channel in Japan. Ishii, he told me, Anna, it will take you 7 hours, 8 hours, absolutely maximum 9 hours, not a minute longer. It took me 19 hours and 11 minutes. And I was so upset about Ishii for a while. And I had this huge plan. I crossed the shipping line quite fast, but then I was just follow the coastline for many hours, and you could see the sun was setting, and I just had this plan. I got a master plan after a while, and I said for myself, if Ishii is going to pull me out, I'm going to do like 90 degrees straight in, and then I will tell the governor that Ishii didn't let me to finish the swim. That was my plan. But when the sun was setting, I didn't know that he had talked to the governor that we were allowed to do the swim even though it got dark. I didn't know that. So when he pulled the ladder down and he was going to give me my lights, I thought, oh my God, now it's time to do a turn straight in. But then, Anna, you get lights. So I have to put on the lights because, you know, I was just going to swim for 7, 8, 9 hours. And then it would have been light. So that was a tough one. Yeah.
But he didn't charge you any extra money for the extra time, did he?
No.
What's your problem? Why are you complaining?
No, it was a long swim. It was a long swim. And then that one was most mentally tough because when you expect to finish after a few hours and then you have to continue for another 10 hours, I got upset for a while and I skipped my feed. So I did like a 2-hour swim without any food in the middle there somewhere. And then I started to eat again and then I was good.
So that was your biggest surprise.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And besides the English Channel, because it was the first one, what other one was very enjoyable?
It was, of course, the Irish, the North Sea, the North Channel. It's so special, especially when I've been there so many times, and then I had to finish there with Brian and John on the boat and Gina. So it was just so nice. I just loved it.
Did you bring crew with you on all of your swims, or did you rely on new friends in different places?
Mostly I relied on new friends on different places. My father was with me on my first one, and that was also very nice. He was on the boat the whole time, and when Eddie and his crew had done the English breakfast, he disappeared down below and had some English breakfast because I could smell the sausage and the bacon and stuff like that. So then he was gone, and then he'd come up, and I asked my father in the end, how could you see me when it got dark? I heard equal splashes. But okay, good. And you know, after 12 hours, what is the first thing that you want to have? A dry towel. But he had forgot to bring my towel up because it was down below all my clothes that I had on me in before the swim was on the boat, so they were pretty cold. But you know, that's my father, and it works, and I got my food every hour, so I'm happy.
When I talk to a lot of marathon swimmers, they talk about the importance of the crew. They talk about looking up to the boat and their husband or wife or coach or best friend is looking at them with eyes of love, caring about them in every single stroke. It, how difficult was it for you to be on boats with people you met the day before? They didn't have that same love in their eyes.
I'm there for doing the swim. I'm not there doing the swim for anyone else. And yeah, I have the talks that people are giving me that go ahead, being stone-headed, go for it. Or one of my friends from Isle of Man, Anna, enjoy your swim, and I think about her. I see her face, and I see these 3 kisses, and then I get happy, and then I'm looking forward for the next feed, because they will say, "Go for it! You're doing good, excellent. Keep on going. You're looking strong." That's good enough for me.
So you joined us in Cork for the WOWSA conference and Marathon Hall induction in 2013, maybe. I forget the year. I think it was just after you had completed the North Channel. It was probably your 3rd trip to Ireland. You were certainly a happy woman, and you were together with Steve Redmond, who had just completed a little before you. How important was the Ocean Sevens to you? How important was being the first woman? How important was being the 2nd person ever in the world to do it? Did it change your life?
No, not much, but I have seen people know who I am, and I get very warm welcome wherever I'm traveling. And there are always people who wants to help me out if I get stuck somewhere, if I need to know where to go and train safe. And if I need anything, I can always ask for it, and I will get some help. So that's the biggest difference, but not much. No, I'm still the same person.
So traveling around the world to all of these swims is not it's not an inexpensive hobby. The amount of training and dedication is quite severe. How did you manage your life during these years of, you know, the training and the travel and the logistics and the stress and the nightmares and the...
I didn't have any nightmares though, so that's good. I started to do for the English. I took a bank loan. That's how I started, and then I got a company who helped me, and every succeeded swim would pay for the next one. So I didn't have to pay any extra from my own pocket. So that was good. That's the thing that I could do. But all the booking and all the logistic I was doing by myself. I didn't have any help with that. I just told them, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna be there from this date to this date, and then because that, and I sent them the receipt, and I got the money back. So that was quite easy though, but was much to do around it, not just the training. And I did a lot of training, both in the pool and in the open water. So yeah.
You didn't wake up one night and think, oh no, I'm flying to the wrong island. It's the other island I'm supposed to start from. You didn't have these sort of small panics.
No, I haven't. I didn't.
Okay. Once you completed the Ocean Sevens, it looks to me like you've just been swimming around the world more for fun than a driving ambition. Tell us about the swims that you've done since Ocean Sevens.
Oh my God! There's a few. Of course, the Manhattan to the Triple Crown and Antibes, and some long swims in Ireland, Loch Earn, Loch Ness. And what else have I done? I've done some local swims around here in Sweden. And what I've done some quite long swims every year, And I did a couple of relays as well, a double over the North Channel, and when we swam from Isle of Man back to Ireland. And that's also when I met Stephen Water from Isle of Man, and he asked me, do you want to swim around Isle of Man? And I said, yeah, why not? I don't think that much before I answer. That's kind of my issue. And but yeah, go for it. Then, but oh, it's going to be 140 kilometers. Oh, that's quite a bit. But that's how it went on. So I swam around Isle of Man 2 years ago. And last year was the Manhattan and Antibes. And then I did Antibes just a few days later. So it was good.
So from the cold, dark, deep water of Loch Ness to Antibes sound like very different sports to me.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And I went to Loch Ness a couple of years ahead before my swim. And that was one of the swims that I didn't start when he offered me, because it was a very stormy night and I didn't sleep a minute, and I wasn't sure about if it's going to be a swim. So I said to Ryan in the morning, if you can convince me to start to swim, I will go in, because I had Colin Blair there, so she was going to help me. And he didn't even try. So I said, oh, okay, I'm not going in. I'm not going in because it's going to be a very windy day. And so I went back there a couple of years later, just after my Isle of Man swim. And I told Ryan, okay, Ryan, if I'm not will be able to do the swim this time, it's not meant to be, because now I've been training. And he looked at me, Anna, you say to me that you have been training when you have been swimming around Isle of Man. Yeah, that's 140 kilometers. If that's not training, I don't know what training is. And I started my Loch Ness swim, and I had Robert from Glasgow with me. And after a few hours, I said to Robert, do you want to know a secret? Yeah, I'm bored. Ignore that, Anna. So, okay, I would just keep on swimming. I didn't get any support there, but I know I had it on my side though. So, yeah,
one of the things you've said is maybe a lesson for marathoners around the world. You said no your first time in Northern Ireland because it just wasn't the time. You said no in Loch Ness. And I think for marathoners around the world, I guess the saying is, the water is always going to be there.
Yeah.
If the day is terrible, or the crew hasn't arrived, or you're feeling worse than you've ever felt in your entire life, negotiate with a pilot, see if you can delay. It's an expensive sport to get in and swim for 2 hours when you're supposed to be in for 12 hours. This is an interesting lesson for everybody. On the business side, you're teaching children and refugees how to swim. Tell us about that. Tell us how rewarding it can be at times.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm inspired of Sally, because when I was in Cork and she told me about how she started to learn children in the pool, and then she brought them out in the sea and the parents will come along, and I just thought, oh, that's so nice. I really like that. And when I moved up here north in Sweden, we have a 15 meters pool, and I started to have my own swim schools. The youngest are like 4 years or so, and it's very happy. They are happy, and they feel safe with me because I'm comfortable in the water. And if they do what I say, I let them do more, and then I keep on going, and they just grow. And you can see them when it gets summer and they are allowed to go out in the sea with the parents, and they are not afraid. More the parents are afraid that, oh, you should not go in, it's deep. But I always tell them, if you get tired, what do? We lay on the back and rest. Perfect. And if you just can do that and you do the automatic, it's no problem. And a lot of parents said, how can you manage to have the swim schools? Because we are doing for 1 hour, so we have long schools. And I said, it's no problem, because I'm playing around with them for 1 hour, then I leave them to you, so you will have a nice evening. And I said, okay, that's good. And the refugees, they enjoy it as well. I normally, it's hard because I don't often talk Swedish or English. So now I try to say, can I borrow your legs? Yes, and then they give me their legs, and I can do other breaststroke. Depends what they can do. As the Swedish Swimming Association, we start with a freestyle front crawl and backstroke because it's easier. But some of them, it's easier to do the breaststroke, and then I go for the breaststroke because it doesn't matter for me whatever they learn, as long as they can swim and they will be safe in the water.
It's interesting. You went to a Wowza Hall of Fame induction in Cork. You met an honoree, Sally Minty-Gravitt. You had a brief conversation about teaching children, and it seems to have kind of changed your life.
Yeah, I have been coached my whole life. Oh, sorry, and been training teenagers to swim fast in the pool. But this is so fun as well because you can see their happiness. And then just after the swim I did the other day, I had one of the swimmers that I had for 6 years ago, and he contacted me on Facebook and about, it's an honor. Wow, you did amazing swim. Congratulations. Do you remember us? Of course I do. That's nice.
Fantastic. And I want to change the subject to COVID, unfortunately. Around the world, we have watched Sweden for the past few months. In the early days, Sweden, you were the bad guys. You had a different plan.
Yeah.
You kept your country open a little bit while everyone locked down. You had a fair number of deaths, particularly in the homes for the older people. But in the last month or so, while the rest of the world seems to be getting a new spike every now and then, Sweden doesn't seem to be getting these spikes. What is it like in Sweden right now? What have you been thinking about these last months?
I think it is tough because I don't agree with all they do. I closed my swim school as soon as the COVID started, and they were closing the high school for the elder people. And I'm working extra part work in the home service, and we have this COVID team as well. And I said, I will work here, but I will not come if you get any who has got the COVID. I will not be there because I have old parents and they need my help, and I have to be able to be healthy that I can help them. And as I heard now when I got back, they are saying that we are going to have all the other the countries around Sweden are going to have masks in the school. I think that's good, but also you have to know how to use the mask. There's no use if you have your mask and you put it up and you're up in your face and you don't wash your hands. You know, there's a double meaning there, but I still think we should be more careful, because there have been a lot of talk that the youngsters don't get affected and they will not affect others. Of course they do. Why do we have this every autumn when people are getting sick, they are throwing up? We have the same in the spring every year, and it starts with the youngster and then goes to us adults. So I'm not very keen on that one. So I just think that everybody should be thinking about what they are doing and how they are doing it, and be careful and have the distance. And of course you wash your hands, but you wash your hands every time, all the way, always, when you come home or when you've been to the toilet or whatever, because your hands are touching everything. and the bacteria, the virus, is on the hand, on the door when you open it, and it will stay there for 3 days or so before it goes away. But then there's another hand there, and you know it gets spreading around. So you have to be careful. And there have been a lot of discussion here right now. I heard it on the news yesterday about the professionals who doing the research, that they talking about to have the cover up. And we have I don't remember his name either, because I've been so much on the TV and on the news, and they don't agree how we should be careful about this. So I don't know, as long as everybody is safe, happy, and you have to be careful. It's dangerous, you can die. And I think you should as well, old people, they are more vulnerable than we are, but there are young people who have died as well, so it's not just the old ones.
Well, we wish you the best in the coming months. If COVID gets under control, do you have any plans for next summer that you want to tell us about for swimming?
I don't know what any swear for the next summer, but you know, we have a monster lake here in Sweden though. It's called Storsjön. It's a big deep lake, and it's cold like Ireland, but it has to be warm enough to do a swim there. And I have my dream goal that I want to do is swim between all the islands in Hawaii, because I love Hawaii. It's beautiful, warm water, a lot of nice people.
So you're forgetting about your family in Northern Ireland, and you're going to Hawaii where it's warm and palm trees.
Yes.
No problem. You're going to just leave us.
Yeah, of course. I might go to Ireland as well, so that's good. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for next summer right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do something.
Well, Anna, thank you very, very much for your time today. Glad to see you're still swimming, and glad to see that the sport has had a positive impact on your life. Thank you.
Thank you very much.